there, welcome to CoreTV News on the Hour. I am Gift Okete. Voting has been disrupted at the ongoing NLC Delegates Conference in Abuja. Delegates accused the leadership of manipulating the electoral process in favor of its preferred candidates. Some of them who left the venue in anger expressed their disappointment at the entire process.
Voting had commenced on Wednesday night and was still ongoing on Thursday morning with much ease. But soon, trouble broke out. Several delegates had raised alarm over alleged attempts to swing the exercise in favor of a particular candidate. Chants of discontent filled the air, and almost immediately, ballot boxes are shattered with ballot papers thrown into the air. At the same time, other delegates present are scampering for safety. This delegate claims he has proof of the alleged attempt to rig the election. He, like others, was not keen on mentioning his name.
3 leaflets, Ayuba, Waba, Ayuba, Waba, Ayuba, Waba. We kept quiet. We said there's no evidence for us to show. They came to us and reported. We said, okay, no evidence. We kept VG. We kept surveillance. Not quite long, a member of us saw another ballot paper containing 2 leaflets of the same name, which means if I'm to tick a particular leaflet, I want to read for that particular candidate, I will tick 2 leaflets and tear that leaflet and put inside the ballot box. That is what happened, and we discovered it. We draw the attention of the electoral officer, the chairman. He was trying to explain this, explain that, and he also discovered that, yes, actually it happened. So that was what angered the members, and what you are seeing here is as a result of that. The Congress reaction, they perfected every arrangement to manipulate the electoral process.
It would appear that members of the Oil Workers Union are the most unhappy among the dissenting group. They say NLC has betrayed the trust of the common man.
It was quite unfortunate that the legacy being left behind by our 4 leaders, it has been spoiled today. It's seriously annoying. We are shedding tears. It's a fraud. It's the implication now that the trust being bestowed on us as a leader in this country has been bastardized already. It's quite a shame. A shame on the leaders. They have disappointed the whole nation. The whole nation has been disappointed. If we cannot organize a very coordinated election, what I was saying I never said before, we have been watching with kidney straight since morning that how on net just a union voted for almost 1.5 hours. You can check that one. Go and cross-check that one. Go and cross-check it. Enough is enough. For one booklet, one person's name is going to be there. So they'll be calling the unions one by one. So everybody was calm. Everybody was calm. So that is all we have to say. But for now, we saw irregularity.
Less than 24 hours earlier, delegates have been convinced that the process would be a show of true democracy in practice.
With Labour, you can be sure that's what we call democracy. And it's only in Labour that you see true democracy in practice. And that's exactly what we saw day before yesterday and yesterday.
After the disruption, oil workers can be seen leaving the venue of the conference in protest. The delegates' conference may have ended in a most unusual manner, but there are fears that the last may not have been heard on allegations leveled against NLC leadership.
The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Muhammadu Buhari, has welcomed the endorsement of former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo, saying it will convince more Nigerians to vote for him and his party. Buhari said this on Wednesday night during an interview with CNN's chief international correspondent, Christina Mampo. Obasanjo had on Tuesday in Nairobi, Kenya, during an interview with the Financial Times of London at the launch of his controversial autobiography entitled My Watch, expressed support for Buhari. When asked by Amampo what he thought of Obasanjo's endorsement, Buhari said it would certainly bring more supporters to his party and more confidence to those who are sitting on the fence. This, he said, was because General Obasanjo is highly respected, and as far as the Nigerian nation is concerned, there is no serious issue that can be discussed without people seeking his opinion and listening to it. In endorsing Buhari, Obasanjo said the circumstances Buhari will be working under if he wins the elections are different from the ones he worked under before, where he was both the executive and the legislature. He also said he is smart, educated, and experienced enough, thereby gaining his support. Buhari also expressed a similar view when asked if he had changed. He admitted that some of the things his regime was accused of had a degree of accuracy, but insisted that things would be different when he is voted into power. The campaign organization of President Goodluck Jonathan has described the endorsement of presidential candidate of the rival All Progressives Congress Muhammad Buhari by former President Olusegun Obasanjo as unfortunate. It nevertheless said that the former president should know that he has only one vote. The campaign organization was reacting to the endorsement of Buhari by the former chairman of the Board of Trustees of the ruling party in Kenya on Tuesday. Speaking on Buhari, Obasanjo said the former head of state was aware of the challenges of Nigeria and was qualified to rule the country again. He said that he had confidence that Buhari would be able to tackle corruption and insecurity effectively if elected. The open endorsement of Buhari by Obasanjo was at the detriment of Jonathan and the ruling party, and presidency was said to have been jolted by this action. Though the former president has never hidden his contempt for President Jonathan because of his alleged ineffective leadership, it was guarded that the presidency was of the opinion that Obasanjo would not openly speak on the issue. However, the director of media and publicity of the PDP presidential campaign organization, Femi Fani-Kayode, said in Abuja on Wednesday that Obasanjo was entitled to his opinion. A federal high court in Abuja has struck out a suit challenging the eligibility of President Goodluck Jonathan to stand for election in March 28 presidential election. Justice Ahmed Mohammed struck out the suit after counsel to the four plaintiffs decided to withdraw the suit. Defense counsel Ade Okanya Ine did not oppose the application but insisted that his client was entitled to cast. The court agreed and consequently awarded 50,000 naira against the plaintiffs aside from striking out the suit.
Well, this is one of a series of cases that has been contesting the tenure of the president. This one was struck out today. The applicants brought an application to discontinue.
Did they give the court any reason why?
Well, they don't have to. I think the law is clear. Perhaps that's the reason which they didn't give. So they discontinued. The matter was struck out. So that's the end of it for now, at least for this stage.
The suit filed against Dr. Ebele Jonathan, the plaintiff gave us instruction to withdraw the suit, and the suit has been so withdrawn. Well, the clients feel they want to withdraw. They've given us the instruction and we've done what they want.
President Goodluck Jonathan says the menace of the Boko Haram terrorists will be over before the rescheduled general elections. Jonathan, who spoke at the special edition of the presidential media chat in Abuja, says the cooperation of neighboring countries has ensured that the war on the terrorists is now going very well.
The case of the Chibok girls, I believe now that we are working with Chad, working with Cameroon, I believe in the next few weeks, the story of the Chibok girls will begin to get better. The issues of at least rescuing some of them and so on. I believe that I cannot say, I cannot say the president said so. I don't want to be quoted and say, if I give you presidency in 2 weeks' time or in 4 weeks' time, we are going to. I cannot say that because the disappearance of these girls are taking quite some time. But we have mapped out a configuration now. We're working with our neighbors and we'll comb the whole of that area.
On the purported move to remove Tahiru Jega as chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission,
I
the
appointed members of INEC. INEC is a standing executive body defined by the Constitution. It is the president that appoints every commissioner in INEC, both the national commissioners and the resident electoral commissioners are my appointees. So if I feel that Jega is not good enough, for obvious reasons, then I can, by there are provisions in the Constitution that gives the person who appoints the power to remove. And I've not told anybody that I'm going to remove Jega, because that's all.
The All Progressives Congress has raised the alarm over a police siege on the residence of the Director of Media and Publicity of the APC Presidential Campaign Organization, Shehu Garba, saying the action is in line with the ongoing harassment and intimidation of the party's leadership by security agencies. In a statement issued in Abuja on Thursday by its National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed, the party says Garba's residence at the NNPC quarters, Area 11 Abuja, has been surrounded by armed policemen since 3 a.m. on Thursday. APC called on those who sent the armed security personnel to Garba's residence to immediately order their withdrawal and tell Nigerians what he has done to warrant such harassment. The party said, coming after the siege by armed troops on the residence of the APC national leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Lagos, and a similar siege on the Imo State Government House in Owerri, it is now clear that the Jonathan administration has finally launched its much-anticipated clampdown on the position ahead of the general elections. The Koshofe local government area of Lagos on Wednesday welcomed the Lagos PDP governorship candidate Jimmy Agbaje to its environs to relay his campaign message. Oluwaseyi Adegoke was there. She brought back this report.
The PDP governorship campaign held at Koshofe area of Lagos was witnessed by a large group of party faithful who waited eagerly to listen to their candidate Jimmy Agbaje. Lagos PDP chairman Tunji Shele says Agbaje is the right choice and a better candidate to take over the Oval Office in Lagos.
There is a Redeemer on the way. There is a Messiah on the way. And there is a man who fears God, who is going to deliver the people of Koshofe local government area.
Yes, sir.
His name is Prince Jimmy Agbaje.
The candidate, Jimmy Agbaje, urged the people not to disappoint him by going against his pledge against violence.
Pledge on behalf of myself, I pledge on behalf of you that there will be no violence for this election. That there will be no violence before the election, there will be no violence on the day of election, and there will be no violence after the election. I ask you, do not disappoint me in that pledge. You know what I tell you? This election, we are going to win. Amen. I said that this election, we are going to win. Amen. So if we are going to win, I want everybody here to be alive to enjoy the benefit of victory.
The party also urged the people to collect their PVCs so that they can be able to vote for the PDP at all levels in the coming elections. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
You're watching CoreTV News. We'll take a break. Stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down. Explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned with us. Now you can also catch us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. On Twitter at CoreTV News NG. And on YouTube, it's youtube.com/CoreTV_News. The United Nations has commended members of the political class for the matured way they handled the postponement of the general elections. Special representatives of the UN Secretary General Mohammed Chambers told State House correspondents after meeting President Goodluck Jonathan that the international community was glad that the decision did not lead to a political crisis. He added that the UN hopes that Nigerians would continue to keep the electoral process peaceful, clean and transparent to ensure a universally accepted outcome of the rescheduled election. Chambers revealed that UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon on Friday had separate telephone chats with President Goodluck Jonathan and the opposition candidate Muhammad Buhari when it was certain that elections would be postponed.
The message is that we appreciate the mature manner in which the electoral process is proceeding. The Secretary General commends Mr. President and other political leaders of this country to continue on that path. Secondly, there's strong support in the fight against Boko Haram. Boko Haram is not only a threat to Nigeria or the region, but indeed it's an international issue and requires the full international support in Nigeria's legitimate fight against Boko Haram. The same way that the fight is taking to Shabab and ISIS and ACME in North Mali, the same effort is required in the fight against Boko Haram.
The UN Special Envoy also met the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Muhammad Buhari, on issues surrounding the forthcoming elections. Chambers raised a number of posters during the meeting before going into a closed session with the former head of state.
We now know the new date is, especially for the presidential, indeed for the presidential, and others have been fixed. And for the presidential, in 6 weeks' time, we hope that during this ensuing period, the campaigns will continue in the peaceful manner in which they have been conducted, and that on election day, many more Nigerians than otherwise would have been the case were the elections held on Saturday, the 14th, will be enabled to exercise their franchise and be able to do so in an atmosphere that is characterized by peace and security, and one in which Nigerians will be truly able to exercise their free choice.
What statement the military made or INEC made in terms of the letter from the military that they cannot guarantee the security of INEC if elections were conducted on the 14th and 28th as previously fixed by INEC about a year ago, was unfortunate, because the military's law or advice should go to the Commander-in-Chief, as well as that of the National Security Advisor. There's no need for him to go to Chatham House, London, and express opinion in his role as National Security Advisor about our elections. He should send his report to his Commander-in-Chief. Let his Commander-in-Chief, through the normal constitutional bodies, make the announcement.
Edo State Governor Damso Shomole has promised to set up a panel of inquiry to investigate the Monday fire incident at a Daike market along Oselu in Ego local government area of the state, which destroyed goods and property worth millions of naira. Oshomole made this known during his visit to the market to ascertain the level of damage and also assured the affected traders that the government will help lessen their pains caused by the fire incident.
Governor Oshomole, who arrived at the scene of the incident in company of Ego Council Chairman Victor Enobahare, was greeted with crowd of traders, among whom were badly affected by the fire. The governor, having gone round the market, expressed sadness over the level of destruction and assured the people that those behind the act will be brought to book. He, however, said since there is no electricity in the market, it cannot be said that it was an electrical fault, but it means that either somebody tampered with it or something happened. It says the government will not abandon the people and will stand by them in their hour of need.
What has happened? And even though things are tough, even for government, but as they say, tough times don't last. Tough people do. So regardless of how tough the financial situation of government is, government will not abandon the people. We will stand by you at your hour of need. This is the hour to identify with you to show that our partnership is not only when it is good. It is not partnership over Christmas.
The market women leader, Madam Christiana Okomina, who thanked the governor for taking time out to inspect the burnt market, said the cause of the fire is an act of sabotage and thereby appealed to the governor to come to the aid of the traders.
Governor, and thank you, sir, for the help when you come to see the market as you do so. Thank you. Only God knows what is good fire for the market. We not be God that this one good fire. And not be now we market woman, we know what we go do. Who put fire for the market? If he dey sleep, he not go sleep well. The man go the beat, but the bad brain too. He put up for suffer. When one person no expect him go spend, he can't spend now. So God no forgive the person. Amen. Amen.
Meanwhile, the Ego Council boss Victor Enobahare has observed that the section of the market where the fire started had no electricity that one could easily lay claims to, thereby maintaining that it is indeed an act of sabotage.
You're watching CoreTV News on the Hour. We'll take another break. Don't go away.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
Welcome back. Outside Nigeria now, U.S. President Barack Obama has warned his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, that Russia will face greater cost if it continues its aggressive action in Ukraine. Obama urged Putin to seize the opportunity of fresh talks to find a peaceful solution to the war that has raged since April last year. Putin met with the leaders of France, Germany and Ukraine at the summit. However, there is intense fighting in eastern Ukraine ahead of the talks. Correspondents say both sides are attempting to make territorial gains before any possible peace agreement. At least one person was killed and several injured when a shell hit a bus station in rebel-controlled Donetsk early on Wednesday. And that's our news for this hour. Thank you so much for staying on with us. Join us again. I am Gift Ogete.